I'm Rivkah of trYoga with Rivkah, and this is my blog post-shoulder surgery. I'm now 6.5 weeks post-surgery. I meant to do one 5 weeks, so a week and a half ago, and just, I don't know, I was tired. I've been more energetic and therefore more tired. It's funny, I've been doing a lot of talk to text lately when I send messages to people, so I keep almost punctuating these sentences I'm saying to you, period. Moving on. It's just this mind shift that's happening. So 6.5 weeks, where are we standing? Technically, I'm allowed to actively move my arm. That's just in physical therapy. So when my physical therapist, is having me raise my arm, I'm doing more of the movement, pushing her hand instead of letting her move my hand. It's still hard. It's hard to relax. It's painful in a scary way. It's a different kind of pain. The pain comes from the muscle recovery now as opposed to the entire recovery. My arm is very weak, which is, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm blanking. Vulnerable. I'm vulnerable because my arm is so weak. The last time I was this weak was when I was 39 weeks pregnant with my second child, and I had lived on sugar for 9 months. So this is, 6.5 weeks post-surgery, and I feel weaker than 9 months of pregnancy, which is it's scary and it's frustrating, and especially as a yoga instructor, it's saddening, I guess. I don't know if saddening is the right word, but it hits me. It hits me. I told a friend last night that I have enough energy to be frustrated that I don't have more energy. So I currently have enough energy to want to clean the living room and maybe enough energy to direct my kids to do so, but then I'm just done, after that, and I'm moving around more, but I get tired more easily, but then I bounce back more. So, okay, let me say that clear. I wake up in the morning and I have breakfast and I do some things with my kids for an hour and a half, and then I need to lie down. Previously, I would have to lie down for the rest of the morning. Currently, I can lie down for an hour and then I'm ready to go back into doing things. And then I'll do more and then I'll lie down for an hour. However, sometimes I'll just get knocked out for the simplest things. Yesterday, I went on a walk with my family and we got to a park, lay out blankets, and I made the mistake of attempting to lie down on my back without support under my shoulder. And it was very painful. It was startling. I felt scared at the time, but more because I wasn't expecting the pain again. So I sat back up, and about half an hour later, so I was able to stay at the park for another half an hour, and then we had to go home. And it was this feeling of get me home, get me lying down in bed, get me my support pillow underneath my shoulder, that sort of thing. It was very frustrating. That's the word. I was sad, I was frustrated, I was happy because I had gotten out and I did things, but it was just, that was the rest of my evening, I was in bed. I also managed to have a Zoom girls night with some friends, and that's another shift that I finally have energy to be interested in other people. So first off, post my surgery, whatever excess energy I could muster was focused on my children because their emotional health is the most important right now. The rest of the adults in the house, we can regulate ourselves. We're grown-ups. Some of us are even in therapy. Shout out to my therapist, who's amazing. But with the kids, that's, our job to train them, to teach them. So any excess energy was focused on making sure they were okay. And then slowly my energy level opened up to My energy level opened up to include more time for my husband, more focus on that. And I'll be honest, and here's the emotional aspect. I really thought just a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I said to my therapist, I don't see myself wanting physical contact with people or that much interaction. And it worried me. It really scared me to feel like I would never want, hugs from my kids again, because I just didn't want to be touched. I'm too uncomfortable. And then a week and a half later, I'm like, sure, pile on the hugs, just leave my shoulder alone. So I share that because anyone who's going to have surgery like this might experience, or people who aren't having surgery but are dealing with something where you might experience this discomfort that you just don't want to be touched, you're just uncomfortable. You do get past that, and it's an energy level thing as opposed to an actual issue with you. So that's why I share that. I don't always share personal things like that, but I want people to understand that these are things and they're normal, and we're not messed up for feeling them or thinking them. Emotional health is really important and misunderstood all the time. So that is another new level that I've reached, where I am more comfortable with hugs from family members. I can accept kisses now because my energy isn't focusing on regulating pain or my body managing pain. So I have that energy to give. I'll also interject, not everyone is like me. Sometimes people are totally comfortable with physical touch all the time. I'm just not one who usually is. So it's a new level. Other updates that I have are, speaking really slowly here as I consider my options. One is I've been back to teaching my preteen yoga class on Zoom. I don't remember what I've said in previous videos, but I am teaching my preteens. I'm not actually doing any of the exercises, but they know what they are supposed to be doing. So I just tell them, stand up in your warrior two and then pretend to draw your sword because that's part of the game we're doing. And they do it, and it's great. And it feels so nice to be teaching again. I took a nice break from my adult classes, and then I sent the very sad message that because of rising corona cases, especially in my area, I don't currently feel comfortable teaching in person, and I'm not physically able to teach online yet. I really, really miss my students, and I really miss teaching yoga, which is another thing that for the past 6 weeks, I've just been too tired to even miss teaching yoga. It's been like, what is that I'm doing? I don't know. I'm tired. But I got really nice messages in response from my regular students, and I'm hoping that we get better management of the situation so I can meet people again in the park. My family personally is extra cautious because we live with someone who's high risk. So we've really been on a tight lockdown for a while now, which is also why we're so cautious about the emotional health of our children. And I interject that. It's weird, I'm sharing a little more than I usually do, but I interject these things because if I'm going to talk about emotional health, I feel like there should be a broad spectrum, if that's the right way to say it. This video is full of that phrase, if that's the right way. Anyway, my last update, because I don't want this video to get too long, is post-surgery, my diet was actually really good. I was really careful to not overeat. I wasn't even that hungry most of the time. And then it kind of just got thrown out the window because of the circumstances. And I just can't say it enough. This is also normal, that when you're uncomfortable and you find the most comfortable position possible to be lying down in, the last thing you want to do is to sit up and eat a proper meal. So meals became pretzels in bed or tea biscuits. And I didn't have energy to even ask people to cut up vegetables or to think about what else I would want. So I would say the past 2 weeks, 90% of my diet has been eating tea biscuits and pretzels. And it's time to get back on top of that now that I have more energy to either cut things up myself using my right hand, which I will interject a video of. I'm really proud of myself for using my right hand to cut vegetables for the first time in my life. And so it's not just studying it, it's everything else. And trying to just get back into the healthy eating that I was doing pre-surgery, because that's also really crucial. So that's my final update for now, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.